Well, our product is primarily targeted at the short stay operators, short stay hosts. So we find it like really exciting that we can show the smart intercom that can let your guests remotely in here basically for the first time. Yeah, well, we've developed a smart intercom, which effectively replaces the existing handset in the apartment and allows you to have all of those functions on your phone. So all of a sudden, when somebody buzzes downstairs, you can talk to them even if you are not at home. You can let you can let them in, or even more, you can grant them access that they let themselves in if you are not there. Because our device is connected to the cloud, to the internet, all the keys to the apartment becomes digital. And with that we can do a lot of fun stuff. So for example, I can grant access to someone who is in front of my home remotely. I can revoke that key whenever I want. In case of the short-term guests, I can give them access which is time limited. So it means that their keys are only going to work from Friday to next Tuesday. But even more importantly, because we've built a smart intercom and not a smart lock, that means that we are also compatible with communal doors. And we don't have to replace anything in the communal doors in order to be able to open the communal doors, the apartment door, so all the path from the street to the actual property. Well, it turns out that physicality, in our case the keys or anything else, is a significant limitation because it requires the guest and the host to be together at one point in time. Even though we do everything else remotely, even though if we do booking with the email online, the bit of kind of having to get the access to the property still needs to be physical until us. Right now we can give access remotely, and that significantly changes the whole value proposition. But the most interesting bits are actually the edge cases. So what happens when there is a flight delay and the guest arrives at 2 o'clock in the morning, not because of their fault, but just there was a storm going on. That's a hassle for both, for the guest and for the host. And this is where like digital keys, remote access comes into play. Yeah, well, what we find out is that people have more and more problem with things like key boxes, the key locks effectively, and that on the other hand they really trust their own phones. When they have the phone, they can authenticate themselves on their phone. This is way more trustworthy than just handing around physical keys. So we find that particularly hosts are way more enthusiastic to use that because it provides them with transparency. They can see where, when guests arrived. They can see who used who accessed the property versus just one physical key which can be copied or lost anywhere. Yeah, particularly one thing that we find most interesting is that not just so that the access should be optimized not just for guests but also for all the support functions. So cleaning crews, greeters, and everybody else. As soon as you have somebody who needs to handle multiple units, so we're talking like 5 or more, key management becomes a hassle. So they just have a few poor options. One is to use a third-party service, again to man all of the keys. 2 is to have a cleaner walking around like St. Peter keychain with a lot of keys, which is also problematic. Or you have some sort of a smart solution which allows you to use access only when you need it and when. So yes, I think we're going to see more and more of digitization in that front.